What is going on, true believers? It happened again. We got the moment in time. We had that opportunity, and the market absolutely dumps because it turns out inflation is out of control. And PPI comes in at gigantic numbers, and markets are going to start to tank. All markets. Dow Jones down 800 points right now. It's all bottoming. I don't know what to tell you guys. Hey, listen. At least on Tuesday at the State of the Union, Donald Trump told you it was the greatest economy ever. So at least you have that, right? You just don't have any crypto pump anymore because it wasn't true. And here we are. So let's talk about what's going on. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, we don't use words like catastrophic. We don't use words like failed. We don't use any of those words. But what else do you use to describe Trump's economy? What else do you use? I don't know the answer to that. I legitimately have no idea at this point what we're supposed to say as Americans when what we see is just not working. And in fact, not only is it not working, but it's giving the opposition strength when there should be no strength. We're getting situations in which Donald Trump fumbles his own, whatever the situation is, fumbles whatever the situation is to the benefit of the opposing party. That's not tenable. That's not going to last. That's not a way to run a country. It's not, no matter what you think. So what do we do next? What happens at this point? Let's talk about the data. Let's talk about what's happening right now. And then you guys will make a determination based on that. PPI comes out today. PPI is an absolute disaster. Core PPI clocks in 20% higher than estimates. Core PPI came in at 3.6% above expectations of 3.0. It doesn't matter whether Kevin Warsh is in charge. It doesn't matter who's in charge at this point. There is no path forward where our economy is going to be able to sustain the levels of ineptitude that we are currently experiencing by this administration. PPI inflation overall rose to 2.9. Expectation was 2.6. So not only was it 15% up, core PPI was 20% up. Bitcoin is now dumping. The overall producer price index rose to 2.9% above expectations of 2.6, meaning things are more expensive, despite Donald Trump going into the State of the Union telling you all about how the economy is perfect and everything is. I don't know why I don't get credit for the greatest economy in the history of economies that economize economy. A lot of people are saying, nobody's saying. Well, nobody's honestly saying. But a couple days ago, Donald Trump told you that everything was fixed. The economy was perfect. The world is a better place now that he has fixed the U.S. economy. Core PPI inflation rose to 3.6, above expectations of 3, and 0.8 was the month over month. But the month over month expectation was 0.5. This represents an increase from December, where the core PPI came in 3.3, which was the highest level that we had seen in recent memory. So it's even higher. Trump is inflating inflation. You can't even make that up at this point. You can't even make this up. Bitcoin price is now falling, dropping below 66,000 after we had a nice run. And then you've got these donkeys, these dimwits. The Bitwise chief information officer saying, it doesn't matter what Jane Street is doing. Jane Street is not really doing what everybody is saying that the Jane Street is doing. I don't know how much the Bitwise chief information officer is being paid to say stupid shit, but he is apparently reaping the benefits of saying dumb things in public and getting money in his crypto wallet. So we're going to move on from the FOMC minutes. We're going to move on from core PPI, and we're going to look at the rest of it. Bitwise CIO says the Bitcoin sell-off is a classic cycle and dismisses manipulation rumors. Matt Hogan attributes Bitcoin's decline to the classic market cycle. And by the way, this dummy right here is partially right. He's not wrong in that there was a system. October 10, Wintermute, the largest market maker in the world, dumped a massive amount of crypto and sucked the liquidity out of the market. Once sucking the liquidity out of the market, he made it difficult for people to cash out and exacerbated the problems. Okay, that started with Wintermute. But at the same time, Jane Street has been selling off as the market opens every single day. Now, we know this. We know this. But they're not the only market maker that's selling off. Everybody's in on the grift. And by the way, some of it for them is a grift. For us, we just want to protect our investment so that we're not losing money. So there are classic signals of manic, depressed sell-off, panic-induced sell-off. There's plenty of evidence of it. We see it on the chart every day. Because, and by the way, the argument that this guy basically made was that there's just one person that's doing it, and that makes absolutely no sense. This is how dumb this guy is, and this is the guy that we entrust with information at Bitwise. This is absolute insanity. Here's what he says. He says the real reason Bitcoin is down is that a bunch of people who were long Bitcoin sold their Bitcoin exposure. Yeah, no shit. They sold it via spot. They sold it by unwinding leverage positions. Yeah, no, duh. But it had to start somewhere, dummy. And they sold it by writing calls against their Bitcoin. They sold because of the 4-year cycle, because of quantum fears, and because they wanted to invest in AI startups and for other reasons. AI startups are tanking. That's not it, dummy. How is this guy in charge of information at a major crypto firm? This is insanity right here. Okay. Did people sell because of the 4-year cycle? 100%. Absolutely, without question. Why did they do that at that time? Wintermute dumped on the market at that same moment, causing people to say 4-year cycle's over. This was the big crash that we were waiting for. A crash like that happening all at once with zero news is not just a classic market cycle, bro. Everybody in Bitcoin decided on October 10 they were going to sell off. No, they didn't, Matt. Come on. Use the part of your brain that still works. Okay? After the sell-off, then yes, the 4-year cycle bros said, oh, that was our top signal, and they got out. Fine. And look, that's what they do. That is what they do. Now, the fall of Bitcoin happened faster than it's ever happened in any cycle. Actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that. It actually took a little bit longer to get to where the bottom would be than the normal cycle. The last time we crashed this deep was 37 days at the beginning of 2021, and then 41 days at the end of 2021 by crashing this amount, right? Well, it took 114 days on this one. So it's more of a drawn out. So I think what we're doing is we're witnessing a mature bear cycle. We're not in a bear market, but we're witnessing a mature bear cycle as it breaks down. And again, you know, these guys, starting with Jane Street, are unwinding every day and continuing to sell. And they're selling. And by the way, a lot of people are selling at losses. Now, let's add a couple layers on top. Coinbase is selling their Bitcoin. Why are they selling their Bitcoin? Because they bought on October 10 to prop up the market because the market was bottoming out because of the actions of Wintermute. Ta-da! Binance, same thing. Kraken, same thing. And then what do the mouth-breathing homunculi who populate Twitter say? Oh my God, Binance is selling their Bitcoin. Coinbase is selling their Bitcoin. They must be there trying to tank the markets. Because they're stupid. Because they're idiots. They're morons. Okay? And they don't know or understand all of the mechanics that are happening in the cycle. And I'm not pretending that I understand all of the mechanics that are playing out, but we can use hindsight to go find them all out. I told you guys 2 years ago exactly how the death spiral happened, exactly what happened. It turns out, by the way, I was 100% right, except that it wasn't Jump Crypto, it was Jane Street. But they were doing it for Jump Crypto, who was also involved. And by the way, not only did Bryce Pratt have his people in there, he had Jump Crypto people in his private little Bryce's secret chat for Terraform Labs, for Jane Street, and for Jump Crypto. All three of them were in that chat room. Can you believe that? Unbelievable, isn't it? I told you this years ago. And it played out exactly that way. So now, what this guy is trying to do is Jane Street. Everybody needs money from Jane Street, okay? And by here, recently, the crypto community claimed that large players, including Binance and Jane Street, may be orchestrating coordinated sell-offs. They're not orchestrating coordinated sell-offs. Binance is dumping the Bitcoin that they bought to protect the market because they can't just hold it. The end. They can't just hold it. Industry experts like Cathie Wood stated that the Bitcoin price drop was largely driven by major deleveraging event linked to a software glitch on Binance on October 10. Wink, wink. According to her, the incident triggered roughly $28 billion in leverage to be wiped out. She believes that this in turn weighed heavily on Bitcoin's market performance. Yes, it did. That was called Wintermute. That's not a software glitch. Remember how this played out. Don't forget how this played out. And we tracked the wallets. We know what wallets they use. We tracked the wallets. We know what they did. And we also know that right before 2 hours before this mass liquidation event, they put $1 billion into Coinbase and Binance, and then pulled it from Coinbase and moved it to Binance and made all of their spot buys on Binance. We know that they did it. We saw it play out. That started the cycle. That started the cycle dip. That's not the entire thing, but that it. Now, Matt Hogan, again, the conspiracy theories are wild. First it was Binance, then it was Wintermute, then it was an unknown offshore macro hedge fund, then it was paper Bitcoin. Today it is Jane Street, and next week it will be someone else. No, you idiot. It's all of them. Binance is selling because they bought, because Wintermute sold. Dummy. Coinbase is selling because they, like Binance, bought when Wintermute dumped. Dummy. Then it was an unknown offshore macro hedge fund. I never heard that because I'm not stupid and I don't fall for dumb shit like that. Then it was paper Bitcoin. No, it wasn't. Now he's just kind of throwing stuff in like, ha, 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 ha. And then today it is Jane Street. No, it started with Jane Street as we started to get the 10 a.m. dump every single day, despite whatever the news was. When the news is good, the market dumps. When the news is bad, the market dumps. When the news is good, the market dumps. When the news is bad, the market dumps. There is something manipulating going on. So, there you go. And these guys, they think you're going to fall for it. They think that's they think, look, I know you guys are too smart for this. I know that you won't fall for this crazy narrative. They don't. They think that you're gonna sell so that they can buy. That's it. They think you're gonna sell so that they can buy. And they're all working together. They're in collusion with one another. Son of a bitch. You know, I put a light behind me and I can't get that light. I cannot get that light. It is starting to frustrate me. I can't get that light to actually do what I want it to do the way that I want it to do it. It's yuck. Anyway, let's move on here. JPMorgan is now projecting a bullish crypto market in half to following Clarity Act approval. Now, what does that mean? Well, JPMorgan predicted a bullish crypto market in quarter one and quarter two. And now it's half to. All they're doing is kicking the can down the road because the manipulation is still occurring, and it's occurring longer than what they thought it was going to occur. They're watching the markets. They're seeing it. They're not allowed to say anything about the people and the participants because that's their friends. That's the way that their money's made. Those are the people that they do business with. All of the pieces, all of the things, all of the Wintermute, all of the Jane Street, all of this. These are the people that they get their money from. JPMorgan is in on it. So JPMorgan now says that half two of this year is going to be bullish because the Clarity Act is going to be approved. So let's get in chat right now. Let's see what's going on. Good morning. Go Indiana Bears. Hey, man, that's what's going to happen. By the way, my video today, my video today coming out about Chicago is that Indiana is the location at this point. Do you believe what the state of Illinois did yesterday? For those of you that don't pay attention to it, I'm sorry, but yesterday, the Indiana side, Mike Braun, the Indiana legislature, they passed a law and signed it on the governor's desk to give the Chicago Bears everything that they wanted to make this move. Illinois went on a TV show yesterday, J.B. Pritzker did, and he said, we're not going to be bullied by the Chicago Bears. Who does that? And then second, they have a vote yesterday, and they advance the bill, HB, I think it's 910, or SB 910. And it includes whatever, things there are for the Chicago Bears. And they pass it 13-7 out of committee. Then they didn't even bother to vote on it, and they went on recess for a month. So Chicago Bears are in limbo in Illinois. Not only did they do that, but then the Chicago legislature comes out and says that they will no longer vote yes on the bill and they won't support the bill unless the city of Chicago gets $630 million from the state in order to modify and improve Soldier Field. So they are the state of Illinois is getting shaken down by Chicago, and they are fighting back on it, and Chicago Bears are going to move to Indiana. We should hear something pretty soon. Now, Penguin says that shirt is cool. Yeah, it's my Bitcoin Superman shirt. Wes says why he's always defending Binance. Well, because I don't know if that's... by the way, Billy DC, this Selmo, you're not blocked. I went and looked. I got your message yesterday, Selmo. I don't know why you can't... I have no idea. Matter of fact, I went back and I looked through all of it, and you are not blocked in any way. I have no idea what's going on. Here's the community moderation and then user management right here. These are the mods, and then these are the, here's the hidden users right here. You're not in here, man. And I've gone through this twice now, just to make sure that I didn't scroll through and screw something up along the way. But I mean, I've got Alex Becker blocked. Selmo, there's Chris Raleigh. I don't know why he's blocked. We should give everybody a do-over here. But I mean, there's no Selmo right here. You're not blocked, man. I don't know. There's 29 more right there. And there's no Selmo being blocked at all. We're going through all of it right here. And see, there's you're not being blocked. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe I'll unblock everybody. Maybe we'll do a reset or something like that. But you're not being blocked. Not at all. Oh, and I forgot to show you on the screen. All right. Anyway. All right. Now, By the way, here it is right here. I mean, you can go through it all. I mean, these are all the people that are blocked. So you're not in the list, man. You're not in the list. So anyway, JPMorgan, they're saying that they're bullish on the second half. Again, they were bullish on it before. Now, let's go into the banter bubbles, brought to you in part by the most, you know what I mean? Pippin's down 37% on the day. That's good to see because that's a meme coin. You know, we want to see meme coins kind of come down a little bit. You know, that's do the liquidity extraction, move that into altcoins, functioning, usable, stuff like that. DCR's up 16% on the day. Everything else kind of in the red. In the top 200, Terra Luna Classic's up 17% right now. B is up 22%. Power's down 29%. VVV's up 13%. By the way, Luna Classic just absolutely having a nice little breakout. Just a really good run right now. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about $100 million worth of volume trading at or near, according to CoinMarketCap. Let's go over here and look at, I don't know what Fabric Protocol is. $99 million in trade volume, up 600% on the day, trading at 42.41, up 17.9% on the day. So a really big move from Terra Luna Classic. And did I call it? Yes, I called it. Did I get lucky in calling it? 100%. 2 days ago, if you guys didn't pay attention, my video said that we're trading at around 34, 40's 34, and I said that the impulse move on this play was going to be right here to 4,000. That we would have a surge up into the 4,000 range because that's where the 200-day moving average is, and then we had to break above here and establish confidence. We had to have a break above right there, break down right here, and then maybe we would have a little takeoff right there to the next level, which is 54. Now it looks like it right here. Go to the hourly, and exactly what I told you guys was going to happen. It is exactly what happened. It just got lucky on the day. Just got lucky on the day. I was feeling it. But I said that, you know, we have a break above, then we're going to have a break back down, then we're going to have another rally. And let's remove that. Whoops. And look at that. Couldn't have called it more perfect. Could not have called it more perfect. So if you want to know how to make money on Terra Luna Classic, axe this guy. Anyway, I think it's going to go to 54.41. I think that's going to be the next impulse move right now. Seems to be some steam coming off of it. So maybe we'll see a nice little move up there. We'll see. We'll look for the, I'm going to look for the impulse move to break out. And if it does, and it looks like that's a rally point right now. If I'm looking at it longer term, let's come over here. Let's Fibonacci. And right there, just absolutely perfect, picture perfect play out. We're looking at a move to the 236 at least, which is at 40.46. So trying to get a little bit of movement still in the market. So we'll see what happens there. But called that Terra Luna Classic thing perfectly. Bitcoin ETFs yesterday had more capital inflows, 254 million. The Ethereum ETF had another positive inflow of 6 million. That's not a lot, but you know, it was a good day overall. Solana had 500,000 in inflows. XRP had 1.2 million in inflows. Now remember, yesterday started off really good, started off with a really nice run, and then from there it just declined and declined and declined. It did not do what we were looking for it to do. We didn't see that whole day recovery, and we started to see the liquidity getting sucked back out. That left us with, I think we ended up with a negative day, but it was very, very close. Fear and Greed Index still sitting at 14, not really getting the surge that we're looking for, not really getting the excitement that we're looking for. We need some more levels. I told you guys that we do have some Bitcoin levels that we'll talk about. We saw the liquidity get sucked out right there. We saw the attack back down on the short, on the longs that were getting taken and put into place. The late comers, the Johnny come latelys, they got wrecked in their position. I took my profit yesterday. I have not re-entered a trade, but what I did do is I took all of what I won the other day and I put it into Solana because I asked Grok AI, pick something in the top 100 that you think is primed for the biggest breakout in the next 2 months, if I was going to hold something for 2 months. and it gave me Solana and said that Solana is grossly undervalued right now based on the narratives, based on the designs, based on the volume, based on everything. That Solana at $80 is an absolute steal. And by the way, DEX volume, Solana is still by a long stretch number one. I mean, with a bullet, $2.4 billion every single day in trade volume on Solana, and Solana is trading at $82.88 right now. So, yeah, that's woo. And I bought right here at $84. By the way, I bought it last night right there. So, and I bought it on spot. I didn't buy it on a leverage position because I just wanted to hold on to it and see what would happen here. So, I was hoping that we would get a bounce off of that right there. Now, same thing over here. Could get a bounce off of that. If we're looking at it from Fibonacci, we're looking for the impulse move to the top of the range, and look at that picture perfect play out. We went to the 0.45, which is where I bought. I bought at the 0.45, even though I understand that Solana is probably risky. But guess what it did? What do I always tell you guys? It's repeating up to the top, back down to the 4.5, to the 0.5, and then a move back to the 236. Picture perfect. Then a steeper drop. And now we're going to get a test right here of 85.90 coming up pretty soon. And then if we get successful, then we're going to have a breakout and we're going to see Solana start to really take off. So I don't know that will or will not happen. I don't know, but it certainly looks like there's some opportunity right there for Solana to make another move. And right now it just bounced off that 0.618 on the Fibonacci. So if I'm looking for an opportune spot to enter, right now, Solana is in a prime position for entry. So, and also, man, I missed this one, but last night, ICP ran up to 270. I took my profit already at $2.41. So I was in this sort of range right here when I took the profit. I didn't take it up here. I didn't take it up here. I took it right in here, but I bought all this. I've been buying this down here for days and days and days. So it was a nice win. It was a nice profitable move. But man, I missed out on that 270. If I had taken that 270, I don't know what the profit would have been on it, but I assume because I made, a few $100 off of it. So I think it would have been a few $100 more because that's 10%, 50%. That would have been another $250. Yeah. That would have been another $250 off of that move. So I missed it, but oh well. And then I didn't get back in at 233 because then I started thinking like same thing like as Solana. Like I think it's a little bit volatile, and that right there, that move probably comes down to right here, and I could maybe get in at 222, 223 on that 200 MA, and instead it just broke back up and went higher, and now it's bouncing off again. So I suspect that's going to go higher as well. So be watching ICP to see what happens over there. And speaking of that, Tau was doing the same thing. It had its move and it had its breakdown right now, but it looks like it's still moving on the daily right there. I do think that we are watching the early formation of an Elliott wave. It would make perfect sense that this is the next wave. We see a nice big spike up here, a little bit higher price, maybe not to that level, might come up just barely above, but it should be the second one, should be the long one. Then we're gonna have another breakdown, and then we're gonna have another spike right back above, maybe right about there, 260, 270. So anyway, Elliott wave seems to be playing out right now on this chart. So again, it's early, and it could just be a basic spike. It could just be a basic rally. It might not be anything to it, but looks like we've got an Elliott wave starting to play out. Ethereum broke above, had a nice little rally up to 2150, and then just got broken back down. We look at it again on the hourly. We're seeing the same thing playing out right now. This is the position, by the way. You look at that. It's playing out right into the 618. It's already done. What did I tell you? It already broke. It already came down. It already broke back up to the 236. It already broke down even further. And now it's the 382 rally, and then the 236 rally, and then the breakout above. So now, with the markets being where they are right now, it could be a few days. We could see this rally happen over the weekend. I don't suspect that we're going to see a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to get. I don't think people are going to be as nervous as they were before. I don't think that we're going to experience the problems. Let me increase this just a little bit right there. Booyakasha. I don't think that we're going to experience the sell-off on a weekend. I don't think we're going to experience that weakness because now that Jane Street's been sued, the market manipulation seems to have paused for a few moments. Doesn't mean that everybody's not doing it. Doesn't mean, but fundamentally, if you have people who are manipulating the market starting to think twice about what they're doing and stop for a few days, then it allows the market to rally. So let's see whether or not the market can rally. Look at what's happening right now on Ethereum. Look for the last 4 hours. For the last 4 hours, it looks like Ethereum has tried diligently to reverse. Like it looks like right there that it's trying to reverse. On the 4 hour, we're at 4 hours right now in this range. And when you get a few hours in the range, you're going to make a move one way or another, right? But the move, it looks like, should be towards that upside if we can reestablish some momentum. On the daily, we don't see it yet. All we see is a small, muted sort of positive move. And by that, I mean that we've got a low right there, and we've got a higher low being formed right there. Then we've got we've got this playing out as well. Remember we talked about this 2 days ago that we were going to be breaking to the upside because that's what was playing out. And I told you that, we had this right there, and then we broke out above. So now we're just going to establish a new trend line right there and say that, we might go to the bottom of it, but we might break out again, again to the upside. Now, the problem with this theory is this. Donald Trump has screwed up the economy to the point that we're at 3.6% on the core PPI inflation. It's not looking good. We're not, he is not doing a good job. He's going to have to do a better job of managing this economy if we're going to succeed. I mean, but here's the other part, just for everybody's, just for clarity's sake. Like Donald Trump is still the best guy for crypto. But until we get the Clarity Act, really doesn't matter. We just take our lumps, we take our little beat down. We hope that we get an announcement or something for the market to rally. Centrifuge got a nice little nod the other day, and what happened? It absolutely broke out and went from 8 cents up to 27 cents. Got listed on major exchanges out of nowhere. We started to see, just this big move from Centrifuge, and there were a few more that had, passable sort of breakouts. We had NVIDIA start to really surge. Remember I told you the data was going to cause it to really surge. Now, then you had the AI breakdown in the last 24 hours. Record profits for NVIDIA, and it started to break down, by the way, because the AI narrative has been shifting. And where's the AI narrative going? Precious metals. Silver is starting to rally. Gold is now at 5,200. Remember I bought gold the other day at 5,000, a little under 5,000, like 4,950, and I only held it to 5,100, and then I just cashed it back out. And I used the XAUT. And by the way, there's a silver one. I don't know which one the silver one is, but silver breakout looks like it's real. Looking at it, remember what I say happens here, right? We got this move here. We got the breakdown here. So 104 on silver, then a breakdown even further, and then maybe a rally coming back up. I don't know yet. Again, it's a more mature asset, a little more difficult to see it break all the way down. But, you never know. Anyway, Donald Trump is not doing a good job with the economy, no matter what you say, no matter what your opinion is. And if the best thing that you can do is say egg prices, then I could say, well, yeah, beef prices are at an all-time high. For everything that you can say, well, this one little item came down. By the way, gas $2.79 in Texas yesterday. What's happening there? All of the low gas prices have suddenly disappeared, and here we are again. He's not doing a good job of managing the economy, not yet anyway. So, we have to expect more from our president. We have to expect him to actually perform and not just get on stage and pretend that everything's perfect and we did everything right. And I can't believe it. I don't understand why he should get a Nobel Peace Prize for bombing Iran. You know what I mean? And we've got Iran sitting out there that might get bombed. So, we need some help. And Donald Trump has been no help yet. So, Roy G says, are you going to get into the new Blocky V2? I'm going to have a large, I'm going to have a live stream on Sunday. Roger is going to launch Blocky V2. It's going to be, by the way, I don't think that I don't think that I'm out of pocket saying this right now, but Roger is pairing it with wrapped Bitcoin instead of Ethereum so that it's a Bitcoin narrative. So I like what I'm seeing from Blocky. As a matter of fact, you know what? What the hell? I'll show you guys. When Roger brought the idea to me, I thought I might have deleted it after I did it. Son of a bitch. You know what? Hold on. Damn. Oh, no, here it is. Yesterday, I was messing with a Blocky meme. Yesterday, I was looking at it, and I was trying to get the glasses to turn into Bitcoin glasses. Just kind of messing with it. If I could get it right, I was going to give it to Roger to check out, but I wanted to have the Bitcoin lines above and below, so I kept giving it prompts to try to make it happen, and I couldn't get it to happen. Then I realized, it's not my fucking job. Why do I care? You know what I mean? So then I stopped. That's what it looked like right there. This was as close as I could get to getting it. I had the two Bitcoin things on the top, but then it showed up on the side. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to make that. And then I wanted generational wealth as a reflection in the glasses, and I couldn't get it to happen, so then I just gave up. But anyway, yeah, I'll be in on it. I will definitely be in on it. So I think that's going to be it for the day. I think that we've got everything covered here. So that's what's going on in the markets, guys. PPI came in. It's a disaster. Trump administration is just continuing to fail the American people. It won't stay that way. It's just that way right now. Also, Grant Cardone is putting real estate. He's got a $5 billion tokenization plan. That's news. And Elizabeth Warren is now targeting World Liberty Financial, but who cares? It's Elizabeth Warren. You know what I mean? What's she going to do? Rain dance on it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even worried about Elizabeth Warren anymore. She's the most ineffectual loser in the Senate at this point, so who gives a shit? And then finally, the one other thing that was a piece of news that we didn't talk about, but I guess it's important, is that Jack Dorsey, who created Block XYZ, his stock started to break out yesterday. He fired 41% of his staff because they're now all being replaced with AI. And that led the AI narrative of, what's going to happen right now. We're all going to lose our jobs. That led to, matter of fact, let's go look at it right now before we close this out. Let me, where's the news here? So, news articles. Epstein files show Commerce Secretary Lutnick on the island. Oh, well, at least Donald Trump didn't hire him for the administration. Oh, wait, he did. Okay. Yeah, it's not here anymore. It was trending for a while. It's just not trending anymore. Never mind, I guess. All right. Cointelegraph says, is the Jane Street narrative a myth? Urgent Bitcoin volatility warning. Yeah, no kidding. All right, anyway, that's going to be the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. You guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.